Okay, so Toronto Film Festival is finally over, and I'll get to talking about those movies shortly, but first I'm going to finish off all the movies that I still haven't talked about from Fantasia Festival from Montreal. Let's start out with the short films I watched. Now, normally I tend to avoid short films at film festivals because even if there's one that I'm interested in, they're presented in basically a gigantic block of other shorts with them. So if I want to watch a 5-minute long short film, I have to line up and go into a theater and watch a bunch of other short films that I don't really have any interest in just to watch the one that I wanted to. But since Fantasia Festival was online this year, I was able to skip through all of the ones that I didn't have any interest in and watch the ones that I did. One of them was a South Korean anime-style film called Beauty Water. It's basically a weird body horror type movie. Basically, there's some beauty water formula that's supposed to help with your skin, but if you leave it on too long, then it melts all your skin off. Overall, it had good music and tone. At points, it would be 2D animation, and at other points, it would be cel-shaded 3D animation. The 3D animation seemed like it was done for budgetary reasons and didn't really work all that great throughout. At points, it even felt a little video gamey. The 2D animation certainly worked better for the body horror elements, so I'm glad that they used it when it was needed. It could have used better editing and transitions between pieces of music. It's the most noticeable technical issue, and very often it feels kind of clunky in that way. It often just cuts in the middle of a song without using any kind of fades. In some ways, it adds to the tone positively, but in other instances, it feels kind of unprofessional. Still, this short film was high energy and entertaining. It was interesting and disturbing and also comical in ways. So yeah, check it out. It's only 18 minutes, even though the IMDb says it's almost an hour and a half for some reason. And I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. Something else I saw was a Norwegian short film called Downs of the Dead. Basically, the main character works at a home for the intellectually disabled and a zombie apocalypse hits, so obviously I had to watch this. It's got a pretty good sense of humor and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's cheesy but self-aware. There are some special effects that are not great, but it's not really trying to be a masterpiece or anything. There are some hilarious music and editing choices at points, and there were also points where the music choices felt cheap and ineffective. The biggest issue with this short film is it wasn't exactly ambitious in any way. It is definitely a short film quality short film. The best word to describe it would have to be amusing. It was fun and cute, and with a runtime of 23 minutes, it wasn't a huge commitment. But yeah, the quality of this short film wouldn't really feel out of place as just being a YouTube video. Anyway, I enjoyed it, and I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. Another thing I saw was an 11-minute animated short film from India called Wade. This film is about climate change, refugees, and tigers. I don't have a whole lot to say about this film because it was pretty short and pretty great, and you should just experience it for yourself. All I'm gonna say is that it had great animation, it was violent and trippy and disturbing. There was also no dialogue. It was just a really well-made, well-presented animated short film, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. Another short film I saw was Finn Wolfhard's directorial debut called Night Shifts. This is not a great short film, but it's pretty impressive considering his age. It is well shot and well lit. The camera work at the beginning is interesting enough, although it does kind of turn into a shot-reverse shot thing. The acting was alright, but the script didn't really offer much for the actors to work with. It's a 4-minute long short film, so it's over before you even realize it. It was pretty amusing and not boring in any way, but because of its length, it feels as though it only really scratches the surface of what it could have potentially been. Anyway, check this one out if you want. I thought it was decent, and I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. I also saw a 7-minute long short film called There Were Four of Us. It's really difficult to say much about this because it is more interpretive than anything. It is very dreamlike and yet visceral and disturbing. There's some crazy, interesting animation. I really enjoyed it, although I'm not sure what any of it meant, and I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10. And the last short film I saw at Fantasia Fest was a 13-minute long Spanish film called Your Last Day on Earth. This is probably my favorite out of the short films I saw. It's basically a comedic yet dramatic science fiction-y type of thing. There are time hacktivists that charge $75,000 for a trip to the past, and the main character goes back in time to try and save a loved one from dying. Also, they make him wear a fox suit, and if he takes it off, they'll kill him. There's some really good piano music for the score. It is very silly and highly implausible for many reasons, but it's still a fun concept, and it's got a good energy to it. It's very self-aware, and it even acknowledges the theoretical time paradox that it would create. Despite its flaws, it's still very difficult to dislike. It's fun, and it has a great tone. The ending is awesome. So yeah, check this one out whenever you can, and I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. Stay tuned for more Fantasia Festival quickies, as I'll be going over the feature films I saw next. Thank you, bye-bye.